I was supposed to show a video presentation, but because of the limited time, I think I have to cancel that and proceed to the research. Violence is rampant in any place in the world. We cannot deny the fact that the world has changed in so many ways. This is the problem encountered all over the world. Violence can take in different types such as physical, verbal, and sexual abuse. It occurs in a variety of close interpersonal relationships, such as between spouses, partners, parents, and part of physical household, but are part of the family and or procreating. The celebration of violence in much of our media, music, and even video games is poisoning our children. Pornography assaults the dignity of women and contribute to violence against them. While crime statistics vary year to year, we face far higher ratios of murder, assault, rape, and other violent crimes than other societies. Just recently, in Sandy Hook School in Connecticut, New York, 11 days before Christmas of 2012, 9:38 a.m., when 20 beautiful children were killed by Ananansa. The incident was second deadliest school shooting in the United States history after the 2007 Virginia Tech massacre. The same month and year, last December 14, a man stabbed 22 primary school students in a knife attack in China. China has seen several violent attacks against children over the past 2 years, including a spate 5 incidents in 2010, which killed 15 children and 2 adults and wounded more than 80. More than 50,000 American children and teenagers were killed by guns between 1979 and 1991. It is now estimated 13 American children die every day from guns. Gunshot cause 1 out of 4 deaths among American teenagers. Our entertainment media too often exaggerate and even celebrate violence. Children see murders and other acts of violence in television. In the Philippines, more than 3,600 women and children have been raped so far this year, and most of the victims were children. Sex crimes include acts of lasciviousness, spousal battery, sexual trafficking, and forced prostitution. These are reported cases, and the unreported cases could be much higher. In Pasig City, where I had my study, violence is attributed to poverty. The increasing reported violence, whether physical, verbal, and sexual, are social manifestations of a long history of poverty, characterized by a chronic or cynical condition of deprivation of basic services that included basic education, health, and nutrition services, livelihood or employment opportunities, housing and clothing. Poverty has affected several generations of Black Filipino families that resulted to inadequate parental capabilities, strained family relationship, and corrupted values. A society which destroys its children, abandons its old and relics on vengeance, fails fundamental moral test. Violence is not the solution. We are losing the respect for human. How do we teach the young to curb their violence when we embrace it in the solution to social problems? The cycle of violence diminishes all of us, especially our children. It is in this light that the researcher focused on violence against children, because I believe that silence and indifference are not options for a nation of faith in the midst of such pain. But we have to recognize words cannot have violence. The researcher believes that this paper will help to outline our moral challenge and call all nations to both conversion and action to save humanity, to save children, support their dreams, and plan their futures. Make the generation of the future children to be communications of hope and peace. My respondents came from the two institutions, Department of Social Welfare and Jesus Loves Children Foundation, which is composed of 58 respondents. So most of the it's ages from 9 to 15. So most of the respondents were male and between 13 to 15. And most of them finished only grade 2. And although parents, we could notice here that even though parents are living together, but it is observable in the city that there are times when children were the one working for their parents. The types of family violence, verbal abuse, physical abuse, sexual abuse, most of these they have suffered is the verbal abuse, which includes detachment or rejection from the parents. The factors that nurture, what are the reasons why those violence happen? There are different factors, but most factors that I've seen and they have answered to me is about poverty. There are some parents who have to leave their children just to work without even knowing what's happening to their children. In the crime statistic for the last 3 years, if you will notice, I'm using this one. Summary of recorded crimes in Pasig City for the last 3 years. If you will see, child abuse always have the highest crime in the city. So most of the victims in the Department of Social Welfare are male, and most of them are 13 to 15 in age. So most of the factors that lead to violence is poverty that cause the children to be neglected by parents. Some victims were abused by their own father and relatives because of drugs and alcohol. Some of the sexual abuse was influenced by pornographic materials or videos witnessed by persons involved. Populated environment and places where vices can be observed could be a contributory factor of violence. For the last 3 years, crime statistic in Pasig City in terms of child abuse was high compared to other crimes. According to the Chief of Police of the City of Pasig, the government should be more strict in curfew for young people since drinking among youth, particularly young women, is observable during midnight. Most of the victims of child violence rooted from broken family and children were neglected by their parents. There are programs implemented in the city of Pasig. If you will see, there's already that program being launched with the government for a long time, but I think it's not yet a solution since for the last 3 years, the crime is not going down but still going up. So this is a proposed solution which I think it's not only for the city of Pasig. I think violence I have mentioned in my introduction, it's not happening only in the Philippines, it's happening all over the world. And if we will notice, it's not just a simple violence against children. So one of the proposed solutions, advocacy strategy like national debate, curbing the easy availability of deadly weapons, community policing, neighborhood partnership with police, and greater citizen involvement, effective justice system, attack on root causes of violence including poverty. Worship and preaching, as preachers to consider how preaching can be a call to peacemaking and a voice against violence in our families, neighborhoods, and the broader community. Education, schools should continue to offer moral and ethical foundations, descriptive and safety for millions of children. Schools can encourage dialogue between parents and youth and can provide after-school programs for neighborhood youth. Young adult educate programs to provide classes and learning experience encouraging. Family ministry, youth ministry, outreach, building community, participation in wider community efforts to combat crime, and work on local housing and education issues, enact spousal abuse laws, create economic opportunities, and viable alternative to violence. Global solidarity, intensify our advocacy for national policies that address violence, including strengthening families, violence in media, availability of drugs and dangerous weapons, use of death penalty and other economic and social policies that attack the root causes of violence. I have got this quotation that maybe could help for us as an educator. No one has yet fully realized the wealth of sympathy, kindness, and generosity hidden in the soul of a child. The effort of every true education should be to unlock the treasure. By Emma Goldman. Thank you.
Thank you very much.